FC Barcelona played astonishing this season by winning the domestic treble. It was only the Champions League which left for them to win. Inter playing extraordinary in both legs to prevent Barcelona from winning the Champions League. This failure reflects some tactical problems Barcelona faced during the semi-final tie, whether it was the absence of proper fullbacks or the lack of threat from the left wing. The whole game was played on the right flank through Lamine Yamal. Inter adopted to this approach in mid-block and somehow succeeded. But what if Barcelona has same attacking threat on left flank as that of right? With the signing of a proper winger, it seems to be possible. So let's see how Barcelona can be more dominant with a new player on the left wing position and how Hansi Flick will adapt and balance the players on different positions. Hansi Flick uses 4-2-3-1 formation. John Garcia can replace Ter Stegen in goal, while Inigo Martinez and Pau Cubarsí will be two main centre backs, with right back Koundé and Balde as left back. Pedri and De Jong will be the double pivots. This season Dani Olmo played as number 10, but due to signing of a left winger, Rafinha will play on this position. On the right wing, Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski will start as centre forward. Ferran Torres as centre forward, Gavi and Dani Olmo in midfield, and Araujo as centre back offers great squad depth. This season, in build-up, Rafinha and Balde combo was very efficient to move the ball ahead. Rafinha drops to receive the ball from centre back and Balde pushes ahead to create an overload on the left flank. Due to pace of Rafinha and Balde, it was very difficult to stop them. If opponent tried to overload this area, then a change of flank can lead to opponent fullback in 1v1 with Lamine Yamal around the box. Here, Yamal can easily beat him to create goal scoring opportunity. In open play, Hansi Flick used one fullback high up the pitch to outnumber the opponent defense line. Most of the time it was Balde who pushed ahead on the flank and Rafinha moves inside. Due to Rafinha moving in between the lines, it creates a midfield box of 4 players. Both Rafinha and Dani Olmo receiving the ball in space between the lines, it easily outnumber opponent defense line. If opponent tried to block these passes, then Koundé moves ahead to join Pedri and De Jong to move the ball around, resulting in a 2-3-5 shape. This movement of Koundé really influenced the possession flow. As of now, Pedri and De Jong get one more passing option in parallel, and if Lamine Yamal gets the ball and opponent tries to overload him, then Koundé can support him to carry out the attack. In final third, Barca's chance creation depends on relationism between the players. For example, if Lamine Yamal gets the ball, Koundé overlap on the flank to support him, and one forward will make the run to far post to meet the end of a cross from Yamal. This creates much randomness in attack, and opponent fails to figure out Barca's next move. So if Barca is attacking great in final third and playing with high defense line, then how Barca got defeated by Inter Milan? Both Koundé and Balde was unavailable in that tie. Koundé was replaced by Eric Garcia, who still performed better and adapted to the role of attacking fullback. But on the other side, Gerard Martin is not that fast and had less experience in attacking third. Gerard Martin did not overlap much, and due to this, Rafinha was not able to move inside. As Rafinha could not move inside to make the midfield box, Barca struggled to progress the ball into final third. Inter Milan intercepted Barca's passes and took full advantage of their high defense line. Rafinha's natural position is right winger, where he likes to cut inside and dribble to create chances. But on the left wing, Rafinha is not that effective. On the left wing, to cut inside, he has to dribble with his weak foot, which is very unlikely to happen. So without the support of Balde, Rafinha finds it very difficult to go past opponent defender, and he can't carry the ball inside also because opponent is already covering that area. Now let's see how introducing a proper left winger can solve the puzzle. If a proper winger starts on left wing, then Rafinha will play as attacking midfielder. As the winger gets the ball, he can take on defenders to dribble and to create passage for other players to make the run behind the opponent defense line. Rafinha can play more freely inside and can support wingers by moving out wide. This will create fluid rotations between forward players, similar to that of Liverpool forward line. In the final third, unlike Rafinha, he does not depend on the spot from fullback. He can dribble to enter into the box to take a shot on the goal. With this new change, Barca can use both flanks to isolate opponent fullback in 1v1 with winger. As of now, Lamine Yamal was only one who dribbled to beat the defenders and to create goal scoring chances, while Rafinha was not that good in 1v1 on the left wing position. So Barca was using only one flank for most of their attacks in final third. If a team can set a low block with the approach of stopping Lamine Yamal, then Barca will fail to create key chances, and this happened with them in semi-final tie. Inter Milan set a low block and tried to stop attack from right flank, and they just survived the scary 180 minutes. But what if Barca had proper wingers on both flank? If opponents shift to one side to stop the attack, then Barca can change to other side to break the opponent's structure. With both wingers who likes to take on defenders in final third, Barca should have won that match easily. Spain is perfect example for this approach. Lamine Yamal on right and Nico Williams on left provides great attacking threat in 1v1 situations. And beating the defenders in these 1v1 situations open up the opponent defense, and team can push opponent on the back foot. If opponent try to stop one flank, then Spain switch to other flank, creating a 1v1 situation between winger and opponent fullback, and winger beat opponent fullback to create a goal scoring opportunity. These types of attacks are nearly impossible to stop due to their unpredictability. So what do you think of it? Comment below, leave a like, subscribe, and thanks for the watching.